Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jack and Joe show. And I think it's the happiest I've ever seen Jack Kelly, maybe since 2 years ago. Fulham are up, and we had to go live. We had to talk about it because we've both got so much to say about it. But Jack, how are you doing? How was last night for you? Are you still on cloud nine?
Yes, I am, as I tuck into a beer Moretti for Fulham promoted to the Barclays. Joe, it was a great night. And the fact of the matter is, after 10 minutes, I was like, we are going up. Happy days. Yeah. Preston were, actually, they had a couple of decent chances early on. But let's just talk about the whole thing. Let's talk about the night, the consequences, next season. We are live on YouTube. And Joe, we're very excited.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get straight into it, I guess. And guys, if you've got any questions, comments, anything about the night, let us know. As Jack tucks into that. Beer Moretti, beautiful. Very good choice. Very good choice. A drink fit for champions, you might say.
Yes.
Maybe some wouldn't. It was one of those days where I was thinking about the game all day. It felt to me a bit like the Derby playoff game. Obviously, not quite as high, stakes, because if we hadn't have won last night, there was other games to do it. But it felt like we needed to do it at home. And I'm so glad we did. And it was one of those where I was quite calm over it all day. We get to the game, there's a buzz around the stadium, and you're just thinking, oh my God, this is it. And as you say, early start, chance for Preston, good save by Rodak, and we dealt with it well. Go down the other end, Joe Bryan does brilliantly, and Mitrovic, and I've got to say, same as you, as soon as that goal goes in, it had a different feel to me to Derby. I felt like we were just going to go on and do it.
Yeah, I think that with the Derby game, I don't think in hindsight the players were like, we genuinely took our foot off the gas and we wanted to do it at home. They obviously wanted to win the game on the night, but I think Derby just had a little bit more, i.e. to give. They needed to win more than we did. And in hindsight, it's absolutely fine. I think, maybe we started a little bit nervous last night, but I'm only talking first 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then as soon as we got that first goal, we were absolutely brilliant in terms of actual performance. A shame we couldn't get a goal in front of the Hammersmith end, because I'm sure that would have just,
as always, really nice. It seems.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I tell you what, it was good. Mitrovic with a double. We can talk about his 40 goals like a little bit later. I'm not going to look back on this game and be like, I'm going to analyze this down to a T as to how the team played and how we dealt with an opposition. Like, this was a game that basically Fulham had to win to get promoted on home soil, and we did it. And we did it by half time, Joe. And the first goal, nicely taken from Mitrovic. Great work from Joe Bryan. And was it the trend that everyone's saying today? Big game Joe Bryan, he turns up for the big games. And I thought he was outstanding, Joe, at left back.
Certainly does. It was a real throwback to his performance against Brentford, when I thought he was fantastic defensively and great going forward, as he showed with the goals. I remember, and I can't remember who it was with, but I was speaking in the lead up to this game about who should play, Robinson or Bryan. And I was saying, oh, well, Bryan did okay against Derby. I'm not sure. Maybe Robinson should come back in. I was basically talking utter rubbish. And someone came up with the point, which is a very good point, that Bryan to Mitrovic previously has worked fantastically. They've got a great partnership where he set up so many goals for him. And I brought up the point, well, he hasn't done it this season. He did it when it mattered. He did it last night with a wonderful assist. He was fantastic all evening. And he's really made that left back spot his own, probably until the end of the season. And then we can reassess unless he makes any clangers. It was just one of those games where I think everyone really stepped up. I thought that Harrison Reed was fantastic in the middle of the park. I thought Mitrovic was at his best. I thought Carvalho was back to the peak that we've seen of him this season. Defensively solid. Rodak had a great game and really probably answered his critics, e.g. me, after that performance against Coventry with 2 fantastic
brilliant
saves. The second half one in particular, it was just a perfect night in terms of the performance, and then the scenes at the end were obviously fantastic. But Jack, what does this mean? So we're back in the Premier League. Does it feel, and I don't want to use a cliche, because it's very easy for us to come here and just talking cliches, and we can look back at our video after the Brentford game. We were probably saying very similar stuff, right? But does it feel different this time?
You know what? I'm sort of like in the last even like 20 minutes, half an hour, I was thinking about like the euphoria of the last two promotions. And you've got to sort of put them into three parts, given there were three, yeah? The
Yeah,
first one's at Wembley in a blazing hot day where Fulham haven't been up in the Premier League since 2013-14. And we had the white wall, we got a red card. That for me is the biggest and best we've ever done it.
yeah,
Yeah. Then you look at the Brentford one, again, you know, arguably a bigger game because it was against our rivals, but then fans weren't there. So we couldn't really celebrate. I mean, we went down the cottage, it was COVID, and everyone was sort of like, like I did a really good fan reaction down at the cottage, but was told not to upload it given like the distancing, which is completely fair enough, but it would have banged. But it doesn't matter. It would have been great. But and then you got yesterday, you got last night, and I'm sort of sitting here thinking, why am I not more elated? Why am I not popping champagne and like making a nuisance of myself, like around the house and around town? It's because it's been coming for a while. We sort of knew it was going to come since like I'd say like January. Since we beat Stoke away, I was like, this is it. It's done. That doesn't take away from the fact that both you and I bet every single Fulham fan is absolutely elated to be back. What a fantastic feeling and what a way to do it. And I think that this one surpasses Brentford quite obviously because we were on the pitch, we were at the Craven Cottage. It's never happened before since like John Tigana, and obviously we weren't young, we weren't old enough to appreciate it. So in that sense, brilliant. And last night's celebrations, I genuinely was like, when are we actually going to leave the cottage? Like we're here, we've been here for ages because they went off. So once we went off the pitch, I was thinking, oh, we go home. And then to find out they're coming back on, I was like, brilliant. Let's just stick around. And it was very draining. Like it was like a lot of emotion. It felt like the playoff final a little bit at Wembley when like the celebrations post match. But tell me about your emotions at full time, going on the pitch, not going on the pitch, or how did you feel about the whole situation?
I thought it was very clear there was going to be a pitch invasion, and obviously when they bring out the row of stewards, almost extra stewards, they basically, I don't want to say invite it. My emotions at the end of the game were a bit surreal because I didn't have the. Oh, I don't want this to be doom and gloom. By the way, I'm so delighted, but I didn't like. I don't want this to come across doom and gloom, but like, I didn't have the same elation that I had because it's been a long time coming, and because it has been a matter of we've been saying it for weeks, months. It's when, not if. Yeah. If you look back at what I preferred more as the whole day, it's got to be Wembley against Villa. The whole day was fantastic. The season, it's this one by a massive margin and the most confidence in the team. And that was my initial reaction, was thinking this team, I do think, can make a good stab at the Premier League, can actually give it a go. I feel like Marco Silva needs to prove himself. I feel like a lot of these players need to prove themselves. We've all said that they were good enough last season, and now they've got a chance to prove it effectively. And it was quite poetic for me that Mitrovic was the guy that got us there. I know Carvalho scored as well, but it would have been fantastic for him to get that hat trick.
Yeah, he almost did as well.
He almost did. It was a great save actually from Everson in goal. Really spread himself well and then onto the bar. But it does feel different this time for me because of the manner that we've done it in. And we know now, while it wouldn't be mathematical, we can effectively secure the title on Saturday if we beat Bournemouth. And the reason for that is that were we to beat Bournemouth and then we lost every single game for the rest of the season and Bournemouth won every single game for the rest of the season, we'd be level on points. But as we all know, our goal difference is superior to say the least. And like, even if this Fulham side loses games, I don't think we're going to be losing them 5 or 6-0, which we'd have to consistently, you know, so that'd be wonderful. So, Jack, I guess where do we go from here? We're now looking at the Premier League. We are back. I think the next thing that we want to come on to quickly is a slight negative, and maybe we just want to banish a few of these comments because we're not saying them. The rhetoric on yo-yo clubs, Norwich comparisons, everything, because we all knew it was coming.
Yeah,
but it has come. And what is your reaction to that?
No, you know what? It's Odds Bible, it's Sport Bible, it's Paddy Power, it's Footy Ackers. Like, it's easy likes for them, easy retweets, easy numbers, and like it's so boring. And like as a Fulham or Norwich fan, if you're reading that, you're just like, oh, just fuck off. Like, just let us enjoy. That really annoys me when people are like, why are they celebrating? They're going to finish bottom. Like, could you imagine a world where we're just like, oh, we're promoted. That means we're going to get thrashed next season. Grow up. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the fact that we're in a privileged position where we're a club that actually can fight for at least something in terms of a trophy or promotion. A lot of clubs in this country are mid-table mediocrity in divisions of League 2, League 1, Championship and Premier League, which, by the way, Premier League mid-table mediocrity is where we want to be, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, so we're actually in a bracket of a very, very few teams who can actually celebrate at the end of the season because we've achieved something in a promotion. I think celebrating staying up is a lot different, especially if you're in the lower divisions. So to then like immediately comment and say, "What's the point? You're going to be down." Like that, it's so pointless. It's just it's just it's like toxicity, it's negativity, it's jealousy, and these are basically coming from like really moist FT 13-year-olds who support top 6 clubs and have like Ruben Loftus-Cheek as their Abbey. Like just people you do not ever want to speak to ever in life. So, so that's the negative out of the way. But that being a negative, it's funny because then you get like all these like, we are like piss boiling everyone yet again. You know, we're winning championship games. We're taking 200 fans to Hull. Well, we didn't actually, but it's like we did. We're pissing them off. We then go up. We're still pissing everyone off because we're back in the Premier League. Boo-hoo. Get used to it. This is our club. This is who we support. Yeah. Just get on with it. Just like fuck off. Anyway, so a sip of beer. Joe, you take over from here.
I was just going to say, hated, adored, never ignored. Very nicely said, Jack.
Well, it's true though, isn't it? Yeah.
It is true. I agree with what you're saying. And I think the next part of that we should come on to is Mitrovic. And I want to talk about just the positives because
yes,
I think I could ask every football fan, every Premier League fan, English football fan that knows a little bit about the Premier League, or not too much, about their thoughts on several strikers. And a striker that I could ask them about is Michail Antonio. I think that if I asked everyone their opinions of Michail Antonio, most would say he's at the very least an average Premier League striker. I think most would say he's a good Premier League striker.
Yeah.
How many goals has Michail Antonio scored in his best ever Premier League return?
I actually have no idea. Do you know?
It's 10.
Okay.
And funny enough, Mitrovic, in his 2 full seasons of Premier League football, in 2 very poor teams, scored 9 and then 11. Last season, he was barely played. He started 13 times. The service was not there. And I really honestly believe that if you put Mitrovic in a better side, which I now think we do have, and you play to his strengths as we've done, we're honestly going to provide him several goals. Look at Timu Puki this season. He got 26 last year. Terrible Norwich team.
In the Championship,
absolutely abysmal, right? Abysmal Norwich team. They provide nothing for him. He's already got 10 or 11 this season.
You will get goals at this level.
You will get goals. Like, he gets in the right places. He's dominant in the air. His poaching ability is very, very good. And I think has come on leaps and bounds this season. He's fitter than he ever has been. It's lazy to say that he won't be able to do it in the Premier League. He's got 40 goals, for crying out loud.
It's
like 40, that is, the number of goals he's got is double digits and begins with the number 4. You know how mental that is. Like, for it to be double digits and start with a number 3 is fantastic. Number 2, still a good return. You know, Dominic Solanki this year, he's had the season of his life. And look, I'm not going to bash him. He scored 27 goals. That's really, really good, especially under Parker.
Mitrovic did the same, didn't he?
He did.
Same number of
goals, got 26.
Basically.
And
I thought it was 25.
I think. Oh, it was 27 after the Coventry game.
Joe, I must admit quickly, I feel so embarrassed. We've been going for 15 minutes and I've had this on full screen. And there's been comments coming in and I haven't even... I'm so sorry to everyone who's watching. I've just had it on full screen because we haven't done it live in quite a long time. So can I just quickly just get up some comments? Because, so like everyone, I'm so sorry. Jack Stroudley, yeah, very funny, yeah, whatever. Did we dance with Muniz? Jason, it's so nice to hear from you. We're really looking forward to seeing you again once you're back in England. We didn't dance with Muniz, but
No,
I think
no.
some of my friends did, which was quite funny. Yeah, he said he did.
He
So,
danced with Muniz. Fantastic.
hello, Wayne. It's lovely to hear from you. Thank God we're up, eh? Let's just quickly go through. I saw a donation come in, so I've got to have to shout that out. Guys, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I can't believe I've forgotten about the comments. You guys have been like our rocks all season, and in the most important live stream, we've just completely right. You know what? There was a donation. Here we go. Jack Walker. Jack, have a beer on me, and just for encapsulating all my rage at those wankers on Twitter. I absolutely love that. Cheers to you, and thanks so much for your donation. Thanks so much for being a fantastic supporter of us this season, guys. See the vitality. Okay, so we haven't missed out on too much in terms of like questions and stuff. Let's just get something up here. So hell with the yo-yo returns players. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like yo-yo club. There's actually a graphic of teams who are actually identify as yo-yo clubs, and Fulham are just not on the list. So it's such a weak argument, and it's one that I just need to stop nibbling at. Really, Joe. What should we talk about? Should we talk about Carvalho maybe, and his goal and his performance?
Yeah, well, I thought that second goal was the pick of the bunch. The way it went back to front so quickly. Rodak, great ball out, wonderful header from Mitrovic. Cabano did well, and then it deflected slightly, but wonderful finish from Carvalho. And, you know, I think it's fair to say that I've maybe been slightly unkind, that I've been saying, you know, he shouldn't play, shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that after the Liverpool stuff. Look, we've had 2 games now. He's performed when it mattered. And I thought he was great last night. I thought he was integral to everything we had going forward, and it was a wonderful goal from him. And the celebrations, put it this way, you wouldn't know that he was off next season. So I've got to give huge credit to him for his professionalism, because it would be very easy. I'm not saying that he wouldn't be delighted no matter what, but I'm just saying that it would be easy not to get engrossed up in it all when you know that you're not going to be a Fulham player next season. So it seems. So huge credit to him, and that second goal, fantastic.
I want to just shout out someone quickly, because we met him at the live event. We haven't actually done a Jack and Joe show since Fulhamish did the live, and it was just a fantastic night. And Joe, we got so many nice comments from everyone.
Yeah.
And I just want to shout out everyone who came up to us and said, like, they love the Jack and Joe show. It was so heartwarming to hear. And it was fun to have a few drinks with you, Joe, in real life as well. A few drinks.
Yeah. It was wonderful to meet everyone, because obviously since we started making these videos, we started making them during lockdown, and so we never really had the chance to meet anyone. So it was wonderful to see some of you guys in person, and just got to say, hugely appreciate the support this season. We're hoping that now that we're back in the Premier League, we can create some really exciting content next season, maybe some different channels that we can incorporate. I know we met Arsenal Fan TV before.
Yeah,
that was fun.
You never know.
You never know. It was fun, and I'm excited to do it all over again. But yeah, also want to just shout out, we saw his comment before, Wayne, integral to our comment section this season, every single time, and always been a positive beacon, even when we lost games. We saw you commenting after we lost throughout the season. And you were always maintaining that we would go up, and got to say, completely fair, you were right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't even need to mention the 2 defeats in a row where everyone lost the plot on Twitter.
Let's not even mention them.
Let's after this, hold on a second. There's been another donation. Toby Colwell, thank you so much. You don't have to donate anything. You really don't, but we really appreciate it every time someone does. It kind of like shocks me. It's like, I can't believe people are actually, you know, putting their own hard-earned money by watching us. It makes me feel very like sort of emotional, but also like just very humble. And Joe, just fantastic stuff. Thanks so much, Toby.
I think this next comment, Jack, the latest comment we should get up about away days, because we need to start thinking about next season now, and it's going to be fun. And we do have some new grounds to tick off. The one that I was probably most gutted to miss when we were in lockdown and we were in the Premier League has got to be Tottenham away, not just because of the stadium, but because of the circumstances of the match. And it was a great result for us at the time. And I've got to say that that's the one that I'm really looking forward to. And I also think that Brentford not only is it a new ground, not only is it Fulham v Brentford in the Premier League, but it's just going to be a super feisty game, and I am looking forward to that. I mean, the tickets are going to be like gold dust, aren't they?
It's going to be unbelievable. And the fact of the matter is, obviously, all the times we've played Brentford have either been in the Carabao Cup or what was the Carling Cup and the Championship. But now to have it on Premier League level, and could you imagine, like, I'm going to guess we play them once in November, once in March. And the context of the season and who needs the points more is going to be so much bigger because of the magnitude of the Premier League, the money. And Pierce, thank you so much for the £2. You're an absolute legend. Really appreciate it. Honestly, such a top bloke. And we can't wait just to see you all again. And I really want to do I know obviously Fulhamish do a meetup, but like a Jack and Joe specific meetup where like we just all go for a few drinks and just shoot the shit about us being 19th with 10 games to go and we need 8 points to, well, I don't know, whatever. But let's not be negative.
We'll still be saying it can happen though, Jack. We'll still be saying that we can stay up, so it doesn't matter.
John, last season was so it was so funny because
it was so horrendous, wasn't it?
Well, yeah,
it was absolutely horrendous.
We got so much to talk about. Like, I've done every Premier League ground now. I ticked off Spurs in an FA Cup game earlier this season.
Yeah.
But the Brentford, the Chelseas, I mean, Old Trafford, Anfield, I mean, Liverpool last night, what unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm very scared about playing them. Shall we do some transfer talk?
Surely. I think we got to. That was going to be my suggestion. I think that it would be unfair to frame this in a negative light after last night, but let me put it this way. The team that started the game last night, let's just look at that 11. Let's assume that Carvalho's going, and let's assume for the sake of this that we at least try to get Williams back. Where are the key areas we need to work on and improve? What are the key positions that you would be targeting replacements for?
It's so tough because I don't know if my Wi-Fi is dropping. If it is, I apologize for the quality. It's so tough because when you've just been promoted and you're less than 24 hours out of it, and you're already plucking players from that team that literally got you up to be replaced, it feels really harsh, but that is the harsh reality of football. And I don't think that Tim Ream's going to be watching this and thinking, oh, fuck you, Jack. Like, why would you say that? Like, I've been here 6 years. And I think we spoke to Tim earlier this season, and he's the most realist guy in football. If he does end up leaving Fulham, we've discussed it before on previous shows, then he's going to go out, on a massive high, like another promotion, another outstanding season. I mean, we mentioned it last time out. We haven't spoken about how good Tim Ream's been. Toby Newsom, you're an absolute legend, mate. Honestly, it doesn't matter how much. Like, we don't even ask for donations. And in fact, I think everyone's just in a bit of a jolly mood. We're obviously up, and they're. Oh, here we go.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, come on.
God, thank you so much.
Algie, I think that's how you pronounce it. Also, buy a beer for Joe. Looking forward to a whiteboard and how we will set up. Ben and Dan, they do a fantastic job with the new show. And I'm sure in the summer, that's going to be some great chat, especially when we got new transfer rumors coming through and how they're implementing the team. But Joe, that's the biggest donation to the street. Like I said, we don't ask for donations, but the fact you guys want to, it's just unbelievable. I love you guys so much. It makes me smile every time. Jason with a fantastic "Make It Rain" comment. Fantastic. Yes. Joe, let's talk
the transfers.
I mean, what were we talking about? Yeah, we'll talk about transfers. I'm getting lost in a moment now. The beer's already got to my head. But yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously Tim Ream. I think we need a new centre back. I think we probably need a couple new midfielders just as cover / maybe starters. A new left winger. Nothing on Cabano. Absolute legend, brilliant player. But I think we need a second one. If Solomon does come in, we haven't even spoke about Solomon. I mean, whiteboard. They obviously covered it, but we can obviously talk about it as well. And there was a rumor today about Nico Williams for 10 million on a permanent deal, which you sent to the group chat if anyone's on the Telegram. Give me your thoughts. Who would you like? And then let's talk about some dream targets. Let's dream big. Come on.
Yeah.
We're Premier League now.
We've got a good question, which was the 3 priority targets. And I think then we should go for who we would choose for those positions. So
okay.
For me, I completely agree with you. Centre-back partner for Tosin. is the complete and utter priority. I feel that to build any successful survival bid, you have to have a solid defence. Realistic targets, I can see it in the comments from Toby. Joe Gomez, Joe Rodon, Rob Holding, even from Arsenal, I think is a good ball-playing centre-back. And you would think that they might be trying to move up slightly. I know that he's starting for them tonight at Chelsea, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, yeah, big games tonight.
Tarkowski is a great shout from Pearce, and we must also remember that Ben Mee is also available on a free. So that's 2 Burnley players if they drop, 2 fantastic Premier League centre-backs.
Imagine we start with centre-backs of Tarkowski and Mee next season.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious, especially with Nick Pope in goal behind them. And it's
my gosh. And Maxwell Cornet
in the stands. Yeah.
Vizza's going to come over. I doubt Vizza watches whatever we're doing right now, but that would be very funny if we get some intel into 100%. Those Burnley players. But yeah, I mean, someone's just said thoughts on Anguissa as well. I think Anguissa's probably going to go, isn't he? That was the rumor.
I think so, definitely. But it does bring on the fact that centre mid is probably the next position I would say that we need an upgrade in, and that's purely because in the Premier League, the midfield is, in my opinion, make or break in terms of how transitional the game is nowadays, where you've got teams like Liverpool, and you saw what they did to Man United last night. United having a terrible season, but some of the goals they scored on the counter-attack and how easily they moved through them in transition. We don't have the squad to compete with United at the moment. And maybe our tactical setup might be a bit better as it stands because they're a bit of a mess. But we need midfielders that can basically protect us. And in terms of both going forward and defensively. So Harrison Reed, I think, is a Premier League level midfielder. But I do think we need another. And I'd love to see some shouts in the comments because no name springs to mind, if I'm being completely honest. I think we need someone, and I saw shouts for someone in the Conor Gallagher mould where they're Premier League quality, they have a goal threat, and they're very hard-working, and they can almost play in that number 8 position.
They're not on loan from Chelsea.
Well, that would be fantastic if they weren't on loan at all, if we're being honest. Yeah. Lewis O'Brien, very interesting shout.
Brilliant shout, actually. Fantastic
really
shout.
Really good shout, because I thought he was great at the Cottage, so hard-working. And a bit of a leader for them. And then I'll let you speak in a second, Jack, just before I keep rambling on. But my third and final priority position, I think...
I'm not having that.
No. I really hope that's not...
I hope not.
I really hope that's not true.
He was awful at Norwich. Just after TNC.
Last one would be, and I don't know if he would agree with this, keeper.
Yeah.
Is my third priority position. I think that a solid Premier League goalkeeper like an Areola, like a Nick Pope, someone of that quality, they can earn you points between the start and end of the season that I don't know if we'd get with Rodak in goal. And I feel horrible for saying that because he was fantastic last night. And I feel, exactly, not again. And I saw people saying, oh, well, we had Areola in goal last time and it didn't help us. I mean, let's face it, it did. I think without Areola, we're down in about February. I mean, he was fantastic. Yeah, and he did earn us so many points. But Jack, same question to you. 3 priority positions, do you agree? And do you have any different shouts for them?
Oh, I mean, in terms of priority, I think goalkeeper isn't, because you can look at Rodak and be like, he could do a job, if we were stretched for cash or whatever. So I'd have to say centre back. Oh, would I say left back?
Left back's an I considered saying it.
And then obviously a centre mid. Well, I'd say a cam, but then you've got, Solomon, who looks like he's coming in.
Yeah.
There was a shout from Jason. Let me just try and get the comment. Yeah. So Callum Chambers was at the Craven Cottage last night.
Yeah.
I would love to take him back, but I think he's just signed permanently for Villa in January.
Yeah. And he seems quite happy there. He was getting some good game time, scored a great goal against Leeds as well.
Hey.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's say centre back. You can look at the Tarkowskis, your Mees, but I mean, I saw that Villa were linked with Ginter, and that might be a little bit beyond what we could possibly do. But it's someone I think we can go left field. And let's not forget, like in the summer, we weren't going like, oh yeah, we know like the English market really well. We brought in bloody Rodrigo Muniz, who, I mean, obviously he's not the end product, isn't he? But I know that Marco Silva will have targets from abroad, and even from his time at like Watford, Hull, and Everton. I keep banging the drum of Richarlison, which I don't think is going to happen, but it would probably be quite funny. So like Doucouré from Everton, like would be a good signing. He's a good player. I take
Only thing that scares me about Doucouré, ability fantastic, 2 relegations in a row, and I know
Also,
it's not his fault. Yeah, I know it's not his complete fault, but I would try to avoid players that have been relegated in the past if possible. I know that's a bit ironic considering I just said I'd sign Areola, but look what he's doing for West Ham this season. He's been fantastic when called upon in the Europa League.
Yeah, the Solomon. So I don't understand. Is Solomon a winger or is he a cam? I'm pretty sure he's a winger.
Solomon is a left winger, but he has played at attacking midfield. And I think that's why Fabrizio Romano was going on about him being a replacement. Probably also to get some more clicks because Liverpool fans love the Carvalho story, which is fair enough. But I think that you're completely right that Solomon will be coming to challenge Cabano on the left. And I think that sorts out that position. I think that position's locked in then, those two to battle next season.
Well, this is a good question. If Everton go down, will Marco have some pulling power? Look, I don't necessarily think Everton will go down at the moment. I think their win against United might have just kept them alive, given Burnley lost to Norwich the other day. But you never know. I mean, there's still plenty of time to go in the Premier League. In terms of pulling power, like, yeah, he'll know some players from Everton, his time at Everton. You know, would you take a Mason Holgate or would you take a Michael Keane? You know what? I think Everton and Manchester United have been a point to make that their two squads have quality, and obviously United's way better than Everton's within the context of the table and the budget or whatever. But they just look like two teams who just aren't playing for their manager. And only in the last couple of weeks we've seen a bit of an Everton revival. I've been fortunate enough to see Everton a few times this season, and they've been absolutely dreadful every time I've watched them. And I wouldn't take a single player from them apart from Anthony Gordon. And he's young. He's probably going to sign a new deal, or he's going to be on a 3 or 4 year contract. So in terms of the Everton link, I think I would be more excited by looking at Marco Silva's Portuguese links rather than his previous Premier League jobs. I think that's a step too far. I think if he's going back and trying to hire players, apart from Richarlison, of course, from his Everton days, I think that's a backward step. I mean, do you remember, like, I think it was like the day after we got promoted against Brentford, we were linked with like Ryan Sessegnon to come back and Gerard Piqué.
And Kyle Walker-Peters was linked and Yedlin was linked. It was day one. And let's face it, it was a bit more mental at the time because we had about 3 weeks before the season started and it was like, oh my God, we need to sign some players right now.
It's a good shout.
Leno's a great shout in goal.
Is that a favourite
Great shout.
at Arsenal?
Yeah, he is. That's fantastic.
But we've also got to be realistic about the budget. Like, we don't want to overstep FFP. We don't want to get a points deduction. We're very lucky that the Premier League money is now going to give us a little bit of stability. That's for getting promoted. And then if we stay up, of course, or even if you get relegated, you get a minimum of £100 plus parachute payments. But let's not even go there. Van der Beek, interesting. Very interesting. If Ten Hag goes to United, I reckon Van der Beek gets a shot. Yes, this is the best shout of the video so far. We want Morgan Gibbs-White at Fulham. He was brilliant the other night against Bristol City.
Morgan Gibbs is a white, should be his name.
That would be the pun.
He's going to sign. No, we've been speaking probably, and we think that Gibbs-White would work well as a Carvalho replacement. He's been great for Sheffield United this year. I was impressed when they came to the Cottage, and he was unlucky against Bournemouth. He could have won it for them. And I just think he's been quite a standout player this season and someone that is capable of the step up. Fingers crossed, Sheffield United don't come up because I imagine that would be where he'd go. Good shout from Ali A. Is that the real streamer?
I would take Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
And also, I keep on seeing Callum O'Hare, which is very interesting.
I've seen a few Callum O'Hare comments. Fantastic. What I would say about Morgan Gibbs-White is that if Sheffield United don't get promoted and he goes back to Wolves, he doesn't fit in the system. You know, if they lose Ruben Neves and he goes to Arsenal, Morgan Gibbs-White, I don't think is going to sit in a holding midfield position in the two with the wing backs and whatever. So I think that Morgan Gibbs-White as an attacking midfielder, literally, If someone was to put a gun to my head and say, name right now a replacement for Fabio Carvalho who could do a job for Fulham, you got 10 seconds of it, going to blow your brains out, I'd say Morgan Gibbs-White. He would be the one. And I think that that's something we should actually pursue if Sheffield United do not make it to the Clays. By Clays, I mean Barclays. By Barclays, I mean Premier League. If no one got that. Or you could say Cadbury, because that is the main sponsor of the Premier League now. Barclays don't even... Actually, no, Barclays do have an affiliation with the Premier League, but it's not called the Barclays Premier League anymore. Yeah. But anyway, this beer Moressi is... Well, I've only had one. It's not that deep. I'm just getting a little bit jolly. Yeah, Gerard Piqué. Brilliant. Joe, we didn't actually answer the question. We just keep talking about names, but...
It is true.
Oh, hold on. This is the big shout. Joe Rodon. I would take him in a heartbeat. And do you know what was quite annoying today? Oliver Skipp signed a 5-year deal at Spurs.
Fantastic player. Perfect for what we need. I think maybe slightly out of our reach anyway, to be honest, even if he hadn't signed. But that's someone that is just going to marshal in front of the defence alongside Harrison Reed and just give us a bit more defensive solidity. It's exactly what we're looking for.
Could you imagine if we sign Harvey Elliott on loan?
You know what? Behind the striker...
That would be brilliant.
And Marco Silva's cooking something special up in this stew is what's happening. Because that would be...
It's a shame he's not a very nice person.
It is a shame. It is a shame.
Guys, I hope you're all enjoying the stream. We're certainly enjoying ourselves. Oh, Everton 0, Leicester 1. Massive goal in the Barclays Premier League. I wonder who scored. It's just going to come through. If it's Ademola Lookman, I'm opening the other beer. It was Harvey Barnes. Ooh, Harvey Barnes.
Ooh.
No, this is a great shout. But Ward-Prowse, he's too Southampton based. He's just never going to leave.
And if he left, I don't think he'd leave for a newly promoted club. One thing we haven't really said, and it is true, and this isn't cockiness, is that there is a pull to Fulham that I don't think a lot of newly promoted clubs have, in that we're London-based, ambitious and rich owner that can pay high wages for better or for worse. And I really think that we can make like a marquee signing. I'm not saying someone like Ward-Prowse. I do think that is maybe slightly too ambitious. Well, actually, probably very ambitious, because I just don't think Southampton would sell for a reasonable price. And I think he would see us as a step down right now. And I think that'd be fair enough, because they're a complete solidified mid-table side. You know, I feel like we could attract someone that could be our starting centre-back that is like a level above what we've had previously. We got Anderson out of absolutely nowhere. Anderson wasn't having a great time. Was it Leon? And, you know, the scouting's been good previously, and we got Williams out of nowhere. He's fitted in seamlessly. I actually trust the recruitment team to get it right this time, because I don't think they've done a lot wrong in the last few windows. I think they have recruited smartly, wisely, within a good budget. And I just hope it continues this summer when we do have higher stakes and more time.
Toby Newsom with a comment that has really got me excited. Oladapo Ofalayan, who's been absolutely brilliant for Bolton this season. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, they're obviously League One. They're obviously going to finish below the playoffs. They're going to still be in League One next season. Can he make the step up to the Premier League? No. But a player that I'd be very excited about. If we weren't in the Premier League next season, he'd be someone I'd definitely go for. Reece Porter, I hope you had a brilliant night last night. I saw a video, I think, where Tim Ream came over to yourself.
Fantastic.
What a guy Tim Ream is, what a guy Reece is. And Reece, I hope you had a fantastic evening and enjoyed all the celebrations as much as we all did as well. It was fantastic. And you know what, that's just what I love about this club. It's the family commitment. And I don't know if you saw this today, Joe, because obviously you're at work, but there was about half an hour's worth of content from both the EFL and Fulham on the post-match celebrations.
I haven't managed to see the behind the scenes yet. I'm really excited to watch it. Yeah, really excited to watch it.
It's fantastic. And you get to see, I was going to mention this earlier, but we got onto different things. You get to see the personality about the players, like you got like Robinson. We had like Kearney with Aubrey, like the whole time. It was great. Mitrovic with his son, Tosin, and just Silva's relationship with all the players. You got to see that. And obviously they're on a massive high. We've just gone up, but it was brilliant. And it just we haven't even spoke about Marco Silva. Let's spend a couple minutes talking about Marco Silva. What a manager. We sat here on the stream the day he was, appointed manager. We were skeptical but excited. And here we are, like, what? How many months later? 9 months later, maybe? Or 10 months later? No, 9.
Well, that was
Or like 8
it was
months.
July. It was the 1st of July was when he became our manager.
So 10.
Yeah.
Or,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
you know
9.
what?
No,
you know
10.
what? I'm too tired to even do the maths. It's been it feels like ages ago, but it hasn't been that long. And I recommend reading Peter Rutzler's piece in The Athletic of little things that Silva's done that we wouldn't normally see in terms of getting the togetherness in the squad. And just basically he had a tough job. Everyone will say, I could have got Fulham up in a heartbeat. You know, everyone's saying that. And if Marco Silva didn't, I'd probably be here being like, oh, I could have got Fulham up. I couldn't, right? I absolutely couldn't. And I don't think anyone could. And to get us up in this fashion, he's done an amazing job. The culture at the club at the moment is fantastic. And I think everyone's really pushing forward in the same direction. I feel like when we got promoted under Parker, it felt like that, but it wasn't actually the case. It felt a little bit like we didn't deserve to be promoted and we'd sort of done it against the odds, which on one hand is fantastic, but on the other hand, you leave yourself with a hell of a lot of work to do. The tactics weren't even great in the Championship other than the playoff final. And it's...
Well, yeah, Bournemouth are seeing that now, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things like, we stumbled over the line. Here we've just sprinted across the line and we look ready to take on the next challenge. It's worth pointing out, Jack, we look like, and we might not, but touch wood, we look like we're going to win the league.
Premier League.
There is going to be 2 teams that come up that right now we are better than. Right now.
Yeah.
We have a head start in terms of planning for next season. As of right this second, because 3 are going to go down, we are the 18th best team in the Premier League. We just have to be the 17th. Think of it that way. We have to get a positive window that puts us ahead one more side. It's not out of the question. It's possible. And I really trust Marco Silva to do it. I really think that he is a Premier League quality manager with a point to prove. And I think that he's going to prove it with us. And I'm so happy at the difference he's made to the club. This season's been so enjoyable. The football's been fantastic. And I quite like that he's almost kept out of the way. You know, often it's Louis Boamorte getting the chance. Not last night. It was a lot of it about Marco Silva.
Yeah.
But I quite like that he takes a back seat and he's like, you know, we're too good for this league. We're going to get promoted. This is my job. You know, he's not making a big song and dance about it.
He's
and then
not
last
been the
night
main
he came
character,
out.
has he?
He hasn't. He's completely slipped into the background and I like it. He's done his job and he's done it fantastically. And as it stands, got to be a shout for one of the... He could go down as a great Fulham manager if he probably already will, but if he keeps us up next season, he definitely will go down as one of the greats. Yeah.
You know what? Marco Silva, like, do you know what was actually quite funny about last night? Like when the fans ran on the pitch, 1-0, oh, Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. I'll drink to that. Go on then. Who scored?
Happy days.
Nketiah with the goal.
Oh my God, that's quite funny.
That's funny because a couple of days ago we were dismissing this. We were talking about maybe signing Nketiah, and we were just like, no, he's not good enough. But brilliant goal for Arsenal. That. Sorry, I was saying that normally when like fans are on the pitch, I know we got promoted. I know it's a happy time, but Silva literally let a fan just get on it. Like he went on a fan's shoulder. I was like, this is brilliant. This is great. And I hope everyone who went on the pitch, if you're on the pitch and you're in the comments, just like comment as to who you like, sort of like if there was a player you interacted with, you got like a photo of anyone, would really like to hear that. And there's a big comment I've been saving for a while here, and it makes my heart sing. Marco was hugging Tete. There were rumours, if anyone doesn't know, that Marco Silva and Tete had a falling out. I'm not necessarily on board with it. They looked absolutely fine last night after the full-time whistle, even though Tete was not involved. I like this. Semenyo from Bristol City. Hell yeah, I would take that.
Fantastic player.
Silva hugging the players in the start of the video. Just upload. Yeah. The behind the scenes is up on the Fulham website. There's also an EFL one on YouTube. If you type in EFL on YouTube, we already beat Watford in a friendly. We did. We beat them, I think, 1-0.
Because we're just absolutely gigantic. And Bobby D. Cordova-Reid scored the goal.
Oh, I bumped into Muniz, nearly dropped my phone, and then danced with him.
That is fantastic. Was it a samba dance? I hope it was.
Did you see? I don't, if you watch the video, Muniz does a fantastic
Morte.
dance. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
yeah.
But yeah, how's everyone feeling in the comments? Everyone excited for the Premier League? Is there anything you're not looking forward to? I mean, we could talk about the negatives of the Premier League, like the top 6 games are awful, but let's save that for another day.
Let's do that another time. I'm so excited. Here's something I'm so excited for, Jack.
Yeah.
Is fixture release day. And the reason that I'm excited for it is not only because we're beating Southampton 1-0 away on the first day of the season, but it's the fact that this time that it happens, we can actually go. And these things, we can actually experience them. Like the first game of the season, if it's Arsenal at the Cottage this time, what a difference it would make to have a full, well, other than the top of the Riverside stand, a full Cottage there. Imagine playing Brentford or Chelsea first up. It would be fantastic. And
amazing.
It's one of those things where if we had last season, but fans were in the ground, some of it would have been worse, but some of it would have been a hell of a lot better. Winning at Anfield, winning at Goodison, winning at drawing at the Emirates, maybe not so much due to the circumstances, but drawing at Tottenham, United, we'd have made fantastic memories, and I'm so excited for it.
Yes, I'm excited for our deadline day live stream. I think that's
me too. Yeah,
given, if there are some incomings,
and there always are. There always are.
It's Def, Taxes, and Newcastle at home on the last day of the season. That's going to happen.
Sadly, that is true.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Who do you want first day of the season? Who do you want Boxing Day? Who do you want New Year's Day? Like all that exciting stuff. I know it's like, we're still in April. The season's not done. We can just literally sit back and just enjoy the playoffs. That's fantastic. There's still a lot to be decided this season in all aspects of the Football League, the Premier League, the Champions League, the Europa League, Conference League. But with Fulham, we're promoted to the Premier League, and it's just so good. It hasn't properly sunk in. I think it will sink in once the table and the fixtures are all out and stuff. But I mean, should we go on for a bit longer? What's more to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk for a bit longer. What I'd love to talk about now is what is one thing that everyone's excited about in the Premier League. I've just said fixture release day. Yeah. I think let's get this done. Let's leave it on a really positive note because, all those negative things being like, why are they celebrating promotion? Look, let's face it, right? This is one of the highs of football. You have to celebrate it. It's a wonderful feeling. We completed our goal. We're trying to complete the next goal of winning the title. And we've been fantastic. So I'd love to know what is everyone's favourite thing about either the rest of this season or next season in the Premier League. Oh no, what's happened?
I feel like Jeff Stelling, there's been a goal at Stamford Bridge. It's 1-1.
That is a massive shame.
that's really put a downer on the stream, but it doesn't matter. Literally, Fulham are up. It doesn't matter. This is a good question. Who's winning the playoffs this year? Ooh, we can talk about that now. Let's talk about the Championship, surely, because we're in it. Oh no, we're not going to be in it next season. There's still things to be decided, and we go to Bournemouth on Saturday. If we win there, Forest will get quite interested and maybe can catch them. But yeah, everyone put in their comments what they're looking forward to. They're brilliant. Beating Brentford, beating Man United. I love it. Absolutely love it, guys.
I love it.
Okay, Forest
getting into the Europa Conference League. I like that a lot from Toby.
Where's that? Brilliant, Toby. Toby, what a legend he's been in this stream tonight. And of course, across all videos that he may or may not watch. I would love Luton to win it. Luton Millwall playoff final.
That would be fantastic. And honestly, good luck to the police because there's not much else to say.
You know what? Once the Championship season starts next season, I'm going to officially mute the second tier pod. I don't need to see their tweets anymore. They're still tweeting about us today. We're literally up. We're not even in the league anymore. I suppose we are, but we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching Leeds fall apart again. That's gonna be great. Ellen Road away next season. Jesse March is good. Leeds United. Huddersfield v Luton and Forest v Millwall as playoff semi-finals. That would be very good. Brentford at home Boxing Day. Second tiers pod. Brilliant. If we beat Bournemouth, can we win the league? Yeah, so if we do beat Bournemouth, we're basically 12 points ahead of them with 4 to go.
They will have 4 to go. We will have 3. We wouldn't be officially up. Oh, get it off the screen. We wouldn't be officially up. We wouldn't be officially up. Let's keep it positive.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be officially up, but let's put it this way. We're not going to lose our games by that margin that we would not win the league. So we wouldn't have the celebrations or anything like that, but it would be done in all but maths, effectively.
And of course, you know what, we're not even going to do a Jack and Joe show. I think this is going to be our final one, and because obviously it's Wednesday, we might as well talk a little bit about the Bournemouth preview.
Yeah,
a little bit, and then obviously we've got Scott Parker. Like if we beat him, it'd be fantastic. Matt Wells and whatever
Rob
the other
Birch.
guy's name is, Rob Birch.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know Rob Birch, I would advise you to look back at the highlights of the Bournemouth game in December.
Yeah.
And there's a certain coach going by the name of Rob Birch that celebrated vociferously towards the Hammersmith end. And I just want to know why. Because last year, let's face it, he probably wasn't fit to even train Areola, let alone be in the same dugout as him. So I don't know what he's talking about. But to be fair, he's done a good job with Mark Travers, and he turned him into prime Neuer somehow. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bournemouth. I think it's one of those where look, it is a title decider, isn't it? It is. Like, I know we've all said that.
Yeah, what a comment.
We won't. Oh, my dad coming in with a comment.
I think, Rob, you're completely correct.
I think this is spot on. A beam back would be a fantastic idea, like they did for the Reading semi-final a few years ago. But it's going to be a great day out for everyone that can make it a party atmosphere like it was 3 years ago today. I got it on my Snapchat memories with all the inflatables and everything like that at Bournemouth away where Mitrovic scored a penalty. It'd be great to have it like that, because what we don't want is we really don't want Bournemouth to win promotion, which they can do with a win and results going their way against us, I believe. I believe it is possible. So fingers crossed that does not happen.
It's illegal. Yeah, I know. It's illegal to do 3 p.m s. I think
it's also illegal to run on the pitch. So Fulham FC,
exactly.
Sort us out.
Gentleman Jim's reaction to plans running on the pitch was quite interesting. I love Gentleman Jim. I love Jamie Reid. But he did get quite upset with fans running on the pitch. And you know what? I don't like, there was some chatter before the game. We're in the pub and we were thinking, if we win, are we going to run on the pitch? And everyone was like, nah. But then like, close to the kickoff, everyone was like, oh yeah, of course we will. So interesting. Can I get a quick score prediction for Bournemouth? Are we going to have Parker tears?
I think we're going to have Matt Wells tears, Rob Birch tears, and I'm praying.
Iconic tears.
I hope so in the nicest possible way. I think we're going to go there, and I think that we're going to be determined, especially considering that we didn't beat them in December. I think that we're going to beat them 2-1. I think that we're going to do it, and I think that will secure the league, even if it's not official.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this two ways. You think, are Fulham going to be really fired up to win this, given it's Bournemouth, given it's Parker, given we can basically all but win the league there? Or are we going to be on a little bit of a hangover? I mean, I know the players were out last night. I think they were in some like party bus or some club or something, listening to Justin Bieber and drinking, was it champagne or beer, whatever it was. Farrell Monk, how are you? Nice to see you on the stream. I'm going to go with Fulham to win 1-0, Mitrovic.
Fantastic.
Why not?
We do like a 1-0 away from home. We do like it.
Against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So Mitrovic header, another one.
Yeah, nice.
Physical numbers. If Dom Solanki scores, I'll be very annoyed. Like really,
especially when we get that arrow fired into the crowd. That's going to be a bit painful. Yeah,
you should get a red card for that. Surely,
that's
some sort of
surely, ref, get him off.
Talking of assault on the fans, wasn't it bizarre when that West Brom, I think Gardner Hickman? He like kicked the ball into the Forest fans and got a yellow for it. And then in the second half, another player did it, but he didn't kick it into the fans. He just kicked the ball away off the pitch.
Yeah,
but it was very bizarre. Obviously, he's obviously very frustrated. But, what were your emotions watching that Forest West Brom game? Because obviously we could have got promoted that night as well.
This might sound weird. I was really happy because I wanted to do it on our own terms, and I just thought, you know what, we're going to go up. Forest aren't going to win every game, and I thought that we would do it against Preston, and we did. So I was happy in a very strange way that we could do it on our own terms. We knew if we win, we're up. And I thought that was great.
We're almost reaching the hour mark. We might just finish just on the hour or just past it. what I want to get from the comments is, and thanks so much for everyone for tuning in today. It's been really fun, really great, just good vibes. We're up and it's happy days. Where on earth are we going to finish next season? Realistically, I don't want to see anything like first or second, but I will take third or fourth if anyone says that. But yeah, realistically, where are we going to finish next season in the Premier League? I said on TalkSport earlier, I was on TalkSport 2 earlier, and I said I would take 17th. Obviously, like we said last
I would
season, or the season
absolutely
before.
snap your hand off for 17th, like you couldn't believe. I mean, we just have to stay up once, and then you can build from there. 3 teams come up that are worse than you, and consistently it goes on like that, and you can build and build and build. I do think that a lot of these comments are true, that, you know, we have a manager that has been there and done it, and I think that he will be not wanting 17th, he'll be wanting more and more and more. And I hope that really drives us up the league, like Brentford, as Wayne just pointed out that he'd like to play Brentford. Brentford, for all we slated them, and I don't like it. They have adapted well, and it just shows one player of quality like Ericsson can completely change your season, and that's what we need to try and get in this window.
Don't you think that playing Brentford at a Premier League level is better than playing them at any other level ever? Because, like I said earlier, it just adds more spice to it.
Yeah.
And
it makes it a far more high stakes game. The only game that's higher stakes was the playoff final to get to the Championship.
Yeah, and we'll always have that. So if we were to like finish above them, if Brentford were to go down next season and we would stay up, we'd then have it all over them, at least for another year, whatever. But then we'd be in a much stronger position to surpass them. Going for. Oh, has there been a goal for Arsenal in the comments? I'll just wait for it to come through. No, it doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional over it.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe with the goal. 2-1 Arsenal. I hope my dad's watching it because I really want to watch it. I think he's watching MasterChef, which is interesting. Which is also a massive dub if you don't watch it. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like the Brentford situation is like, obviously it would have been great. And I think QPR obviously could still get players. I don't think they will. But if we were to be in the Premier League with Brentford and we'd finish either above them or they'd go down, we'd stay up, or the other way around, be horrible, whatever. It would just be so funny.
Yeah.
Because then there's always been like this, like there's always been a rivalry between Fulham and Brentford. But because it's now come down to promotion, relegation, and like big game stakes, it just matters so much more.
Yeah.
And I saw Brentford play Everton earlier this season, and they were like, they scored a penalty with Tony and won 1-0, and it was pretty like frustrating. And Everton were rubbish. But the problem was Brentford started really well this season, and like they got that win away at Wolves. I don't know why we're sat here talking about Brentford on a promotion live stream. Should we just change the subject, Joe?
Yeah, we're just talking about Premier League rivals, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, you make a good point about the London teams. We've got an awful London derbies record in the Premier League. We're not going to get a better chance than this to change it. Oh my goodness, we need to win one of them early doors.
We need to win more than one of them.
Well, yeah. Well, we need to win all of them, obviously, if we're going to try and get Champions League. But yeah, I'm giddy. I'm excited. We should probably wrap it up soon because I'm getting a bit too giddy. I want to go and watch some of this Arsenal-Chelsea game with the way it's going. I think that it's a wonderful day to be a Fulham fan. It's been a wonderful feeling. And it is lovely that we can just look at the rest of the season and
relax.
Yeah, look, we want to win the league. Of course it matters, but hopefully we can get that wrapped up soon. And then we can watch the end of the Premier League season, the playoffs, the end of the Championship season. And we just know that it doesn't directly affect us. We've done our job. We're up. We can just plan for next season. And that is a fantastic, fantastic feeling.
All right. So then I must ask you then. I don't think we ever got an answer. Who's joining us in the Premier League next season then? Go on.
Sadly, I do think Bournemouth will do it.
Yeah.
But I do think Forest are the strongest team out of the rest. And I think that they will... I'd back them to beat anyone over 2 legs. And in a one-off game at Wembley, I think they'd do it. I do.
Yeah. And they'd bring a hell of a lot of fans to Wembley. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think maybe we might see like a... I think we might see a Forest Luton... No, Forest Luton. I think Huddersfield will lose over 2 legs. And Sammy, so thanks so much for giving us the platform to do these shows. We've been here for an hour, and congratulations on your fantastic BBC News interview earlier today as well. I think I gathered they asked you something about Fulham being a yo-yo club, which must have been so frustrating. And
I can only think what would have happened if they'd have asked you that question, Jack. I think
well, they sort of
you'd have been
did
banned from TalkSport forever.
Well, actually, interestingly, I think they had Rory Jennings on like a previous show, and I saw Rory Jennings put like a really annoying tweet up earlier about Fulham going straight back down. But it's all very boring. And wouldn't it be great? Let's end it on this. Wouldn't it be great if we proved everyone wrong and stop these stupid memes? Yeah, and talk. If Mitro bagged like 15 to 16 to 17 goals, and we stayed up quite comfortably in 16th, 15th, and that would be the end of it. And then even add on to that, and I don't even necessarily want this to happen too much, but it'd be quite funny if Norwich just didn't go up next season, and then it'd be an end to it. It'd be like the end of Lord of the Rings. It'd be like all of this stupid trilogy. Finally, the rings in the fire, and that's
my precious 17th place. That is what we're hoping for. Come on,
guys! It's been an absolute pleasure. I've absolutely loved this so much.
Thanks so much, everyone, and thanks for all your comments and interaction. And you never know, maybe we'll go live again if and when we win the league.
To answer your question, Oscar, it was on at about, I can't remember the time. It was like 6:45-ish. If Sammy's clipped it or someone's clipped it up, I'm sure they'll post it on Twitter or maybe put it on the Telegram if you're on the Telegram or something like that. Hopefully we can rewatch it because I literally only caught the end of it. I was having dinner and I only caught the end of it. So brilliant, Joe. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jack. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thanks for your contributions and your comments and everything. It's been great.
The donations have really blown me away today. And like I said, we don't ask for it. And it's just fantastic that you get that you think that it's worthy of donating to. A couple of things just before we go. Next season, we're in the Premier League, of course. Oh, Azpilicueta 2-2. Well, we need to get this on. It's a Desmond. It seems like a very good game. I'll wrap this up really quickly. We've got some big plans. We're in the Premier League. We want to do big things. And the fact that fans are in grounds, we've got some opportunity to maybe collab or do some stuff down the ground. You never know. We just need to talk. We need to sort it out, basically. Joe will be back after Bournemouth on Monday for another Jack and Joe show, I suppose.
Yeah. Fantastic. Really looking forward to it. And hopefully we've got some great stuff to talk about after Saturday. And if you're going, have a wonderful time.
Yeah. I feel very fortunate I'm going. Obviously, like the loyalty point thing, we can talk about, we can get into that debate another day. But Joe Ryan, thanks so much for the comment. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys. Joe Sansom, last words.
Nothing from me. We are up. We are Pixar Film, and it's a fantastic feeling. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for supporting us all season and last season as well. And it just goes to show that, seasons like last season, they're crap. Right? There's no two ways about it. But it's just been fantastic to have one like this to make amends and be fantastic and positive vibes. And it's been great. Thanks everyone for watching.
I was going to say, I saw a few tweets about it and it was very poignant and it was very well said. We've had a great season, but also, the devastating losses of Tony Fisher and Paul Parrish. Yeah. I'm so glad that we get the job done and hopefully they're up there watching down and they enjoyed it as much as we did. Love to those guys, obviously rest in peace. And it's been a very together season. I feel like the fans have been really together on this. And it was in the last couple of weeks after the couple of losses that everyone was sort of getting nervous, but we've all been together. And, Tony and Paul, huge losses to the club, to the fan base. And we're so pleased that we got the job done for them. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys so much. We'll see you on Monday. We are Premier League.